Outstanding. Yeah. Holy cow, that is an amazing wine. This one makes it worth the entire trip. Welcome to Destination Eat Drink, the travel channel for foodies. I'm Brent Peterson. I'm an American living in Portugal, but today we're in Spain. We're in Bilbao, but this is not our final destination for today. We're going to be in northern Spain for about 2 weeks, and I wanted you to see what Karen and I packed for a 2-week trip. This is everything. 2 backpacks and a day pack. And that's it. That's everything that we're bringing for a 2-week trip. Flew into Bilbao, came into the city center because we'd have a couple hours to kill, and we decided to walk around. Turns out today's May Day. There's all kinds of marches. Every union, it seems, has their own march and parade, and they're giving speeches and rallying the crowd, rallying the workers for May Day. So that's today. And because of that, almost every place is closed, except the bakeries. The bakeries are open. And so we got a little treat, and look how they packed this for takeaway. I mean, this could be Christmas, right? So I'll put the name of the bakery down below, but it was really nice. They had some great looking stuff. So I got a few things just to last us, because the train ride's going to be a couple hours where we're going today. But see how they did it? So they put this, might be hard to see, but they put these 2 pieces of cardboard here so that it doesn't smash down. Brilliant, right? All right. So what did we get? Got a few different things. And Karen got this eclair looking thing, and then a little tart with slivered almonds. But what I wanted, this is called a Bilbao cake. Haven't heard of it before, so I just got it because it's named after Bilbao. I always like to get the characteristic treats. So, there's a little cream on the inside. Wow. So, not so much like a donut. Really crispy on the top. There might be some corn flour in here to get this kind of texture, I think. I bet that's what it is. This is really tasty. Wow. So, let me tell you where we're heading. A couple hours south of here is a town called Haro, H-A-R-O. We're going to take the train down there. This is in the Rioja wine region. Tons of wineries down there. Looks like there's some good food too. So, we will come back here to Bilbao, and I'll make a couple videos because the pincho bars here are amazing. For now though, my Bilbao cake is going to have to do. So we made it to Haro, and not without a little drama, but I'm not going to complain. Just suffice it to say, don't look for an Uber when you come to Haro, or a taxi for that matter. So we're at Cafeteria Nido. This place is doing a brisk business, and the guy behind the bar is just really cool. I like him. So what did we get? Traditional Spanish breakfast here. So I got a tortilla, and again, I know I've said this many times, but if you're new to the channel, tortilla is not a wrap like in Mexican food, it's an egg omelet. And what I got was a tortilla with potato and onion. Tasty. Okay, 2 thoughts on this. One, I've noticed the tortillas in northern Spain tend to be a little saltier than the ones that we've had in other parts of Spain, whether it's Madrid or Seville or Barcelona. I'm not sure if it's just the places that we've come in northern Spain, but that's been my observation. Secondly, this one has onions in it. And it's kind of rare to see one with onions in it because it's a little divisive within the Spanish culture. Some people say, do not put onions in your tortilla. Like people in Chicago say, don't put ketchup on your hot dog. Same idea. So to find one with onions in it, there are some people who are onion advocates. I like it, but a lot of people in Spain will say, do not have your tortilla with onions in it. I think it's good. Fresh squeezed orange juice. Nothing like it. I mean, they're squeezing it on the spot. Perfect. And then a bread with tomato. And this is just so simple. Just tomato puree on top of bread. Toast. Something so simple, it shouldn't be so good. But it is, it's really good. This is a perfect way to start our day because we're going to be hitting a few wineries today. So I think I need to get some stuff in my stomach before we start that. Really good. So we made it to our first winery, and this might be the most famous and maybe the largest too. It's called Cune. And this has, Cune has tons of vineyards around the country. They're independently owned, but they're under the same umbrella. So we tried several reserve glasses. Now you can come here, I'll tell you what, they'll try to push you towards the tour, which is 25 euros per person. It's not outrageously expensive, but you know, it's going to take up a good amount of your time. I just wanted to do a tasting, so I had to ask a couple of times, which is fine. And we did a little tasting here. So you get a little private tasting, you learn a little bit about the wines and the region, and then you choose some wines to get. So that's what we did. And the first one is called Cantino. And this one is kind of outside of this region of Rioja a little bit. It's an area called Rioja Alta, and it's more up in the mountains. So this vineyard is in the foothills of the mountains. And let's give this a try. So that's very nice. Rounded, smooth, has a little bit of tannins, but this would be a good wine just for everyday drinking. Like most wines in this area, it's mostly Tempranillo, over 85%, but also has some Grenache and some Mozuela in there as well. Bottle of this in the store costs about 30 bucks. Next up is the Asua, and this one's unique because it's 100% Tempranillo, and it's from this region, this particular region here of the Rioja Alta region. So I love the Tempranillo grape, which is really why we wanted to come to Rioja. So you get a little more tannins in that one, but still really nice. And so that Tempranillo, it comes from different vineyards in this area, but it's all 100% the same grape. We also got a little bit of chocolate here to go with it because, I mean, red wine and chocolate. And, oh wow, that's very dark. Wow, that's got to be at least 85% cacao. You can see they had these made into the shape of grape leaves. That's kind of cute. Tempranillo is even better with the chocolate. Our third and final tasting, this is the Imperial. This is the one that we came for. This wine won the 2004 vintage, won the best wine in the world from Wine Spectator. They only make it in years when the grape quality is extraordinary. The 2023 didn't reach their desired level. So they never made an Imperial for that year, so you won't see it. They only make it when it's really good. This is a 2018 Imperial. And again, it's a blend, mostly Tempranillo. There's also some Grenache in there. This is definitely more tannic, but you can taste how just the uppermost quality of this. This would be the kind of bottle you'd want to age for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, give it to your kids when they graduate college, something like that. Holy cow, that is an amazing wine. This one makes it worth the entire trip. Our next stop is Gomez Crusado, and I don't know if it's maybe just when we happen to be stopping by here, but a lot of these places we've been to, it seems like there were a lot of Americans here. This is becoming, I think, a very popular wine destination for Americans. And in fact, one of the places we went to, he said, it's definitely Americans are the second most popular nationality besides the Spanish at their winery. This place, however, seems to be a lot more Spanish people. Just my observation from a few minutes sitting here. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe a giant tour group of Americans will walk through the door in 5 seconds and I'll be proven wrong. Anyway, this place does some unique wines, and this is why I wanted to come here. So this first one is called the Pan Crudo. And what makes this different is this is 100% Grenache, which is not something that you see all that often. So more fruity than you get with the Tempranillo blends. The lady who poured it said, these don't get official demarcations because these guys do a little bit of different kinds of fermentations and different kinds of grape variety, not varieties, but different kinds of grape blends. So they're not really on the program of the regular Rioja wines. So maybe they're not rated as highly because of that. This is a really good wine. Really, really good. I like it. Nice. Still has some tannin to it. She gave us this plate of little crusty bread, local olive oil, and when it came out of the bottle, it looked really green, so I knew it was going to be good. This olive oil is spicy and young and green, just how I like it. Wish I could take home a bottle with me. All right, our next, this is a more traditional blend. It's this bottle right here. This is a more traditional blend, mostly Tempranillo, Grenache. So, this is aged stainless steel and in concrete. And this kind of reminds me when we were in Alentejo, when we went to Cuba in Alentejo, and we had the wine that was aged in the clay barrels. It's kind of a similar fermentation process, aging process to that. Not as strong, not as minerally as that, but similar. Rioja wines, they tend to be a little bit softer than what you get in Portugal. Not that they're better, not that they're worse, they're different. That's a really good example of a Tempranillo blend. I like it a lot. All right, we got one more coming. It's a white, and she said she knows that it's not traditional to have the whites after the reds, but she said there's a very good reason for it, so I'll just sit here and wait for that reason.
Our next stop is Gomez Cruzado, and this is 100% Grenache, which is not something that you see all that often. The lady who poured it said, she knows that it's not traditional to have the whites after the reds, but she said there's a very good reason for it, so I'll just sit here and wait for that reason.
Okay, number 3 has arrived. The reason why I've been looking forward to this one is because 2 reasons. It's a white made with the Viura grape, which if you've ever had cava, years ago we went to the Penedès region outside of Barcelona and went to the cava caves down there. That's really what this grape, what cava is made from, is this grape, the Viura grape. But this is planted locally up in the mountains, and this wine is 75% Viura. The lady who poured it, she told me that they have to harvest using animals. They can't get trucks up there because these vines are 75 years old. They were made before, well, not before cars, but before mechanical equipment was really widely used in this region. So the access is so difficult that they still have to use animals, I would imagine donkeys, to go up there and harvest the grapes. The second reason is because it's made with a Tempranillo. So when I saw this wine listed, I was like, why are they using Viura grapes with Tempranillo, which is a red? Is it going to be, what is it going to be? Turns out they have a special white variety of Tempranillo that they use here. So you get aging in stainless steel, aging in oak, and aging in concrete, and for different periods of time to get what they're looking for. So give this white a try. Okay, so not nearly as oaky as you'd get with, say, a Chardonnay that's been over-oaked, in my opinion. And not nearly as like tart with like apricot or peach flavors. This is more like a tropical fruit. Like I get like banana. Sounds strange, I know. But you know how banana is much more mellow. Maybe papaya. I like this. This is really good. So there you go, Gomez Crusado. Put this on your list. You know, it's not one of the better known wineries here, but it's definitely one of the best. Outstanding. So our next stop is Muga Winery, a very, very famous winery here in Rioja in the town of Haro. And I didn't do a flight this time because we're going to be drinking some wine today. So I just got one little glass, but I did want to try this one. This is a new entry in their library. It's called Torre. I think that's tower in Spanish. And this is a classic blend of Tempranillo, Mezzuelo, and Graziano. So we're seeing this blend in all of the wines in Rioja, but this is a special reserve wine. They don't make it every year. This is from, I think it was 2018 or 2019. This is a very, very well-reviewed wine. I saw 94 points on, I think it was James Suckling. And I looked up real quick how much this goes for, anywhere from 80 to 100 bucks a bottle. Expensive. They only charge 12 for this. It's not a healthy pour, but still, you know, when you're talking about a $100 bottle of wine, you know, it's nice. So there's some fruitiness there, but you really taste the tannins. I would decant this definitely, and I would probably age it as well. It could age for a decade at least and still be really good. Also, you know, what would be really nice with that is some Spanish cheese, some manchego or something like that would be really good with this. But it's an excellent wine, and glad they're producing this now because it's a fine addition to their library. Really nice. This is a La Rioja Alta winery, named after this region of La Rioja and this specific designation of Alta. And this is probably the prettiest winery that we've been to so far. The grounds here are just gorgeous, and Look at this area where we get to taste out on the terrace. It's just beautiful, and luckily we've got a perfect day here in Spain. There's also tasting inside. This is a 2015 Grand Reserva vintage, aged for 4 years in oak and then aged in the bottle, American oak specifically. And it's a blend, like most wines are here in the Rioja region. Tempranillo is the main grape. There's also some Grenache in here. Really, really good. Nice tannins, smoothed out by the oak, I think, a little bit. And look how they serve it in this big bowl. So you can really get, the aromas are intoxicating, literally. Really, really good. So, you know, they've been making wine here in Rioja for 2,500 years, maybe close to 3,000 years. Phoenicians were the first ones known to bring wine grapes here. Romans too. And then monks started making wine, as they did all over Spain and all over Western Europe. In the 1200s, they started exporting this wine commercially, and then they started codifying what was the specific characteristics that they wanted for the wine and the specific regions where you could grow it, what we know now as the DOC. So they've been serious about the wine for a long, long time here. 150 years ago or so, folks from Bordeaux came down here because they wanted to see why Spain wasn't being decimated by the phylloxera. They thought that the Spanish knew something in particular, a secret to their winemaking, to keep those bugs from killing the vines. Turns out they didn't know anything. They were just farther south, and the plague had not yet reached the vines down here. Eventually it did, and it killed them off. But what happened was the Bordeaux winemakers brought their method of winemaking down here, including aging in French oak. And so that's why you have a tradition of oak aging here in Rioja. I think that's pretty fascinating, although a lot of oak isn't French here anymore. A lot of it's American, some of it's Spanish. And a lot of places they don't smoke the oak to season it. They just let it sit out. So a little bit different, but all that information's not going to really mean anything to you if the wine isn't good. And this, I don't know if it's the best we've had so far, but it just might be. That's outstanding. Enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. You can also support me at buymeacoffee.com/destination-eat-drink. I'm Brent Peterson. See you down the road. And